A game is
Way too much for work. You should work that.
Did you know that yogurt is just yogurt? This is why I came to America.
Welcome to another episode of MIATC Chief and Patrick. It's not just any old episode. It's the 100th episode! Yeah, that's right. It's 100th episode officially. Unofficially, I think we're around 160, somewhere in that range. But at a point, we started kind of from scratch and reformatted some things and whatnot. And since then, I've kept count. And then obviously stuff like draft specials and some other stuff have not officially been part of the 100th episode. They had not been counted in the 100th episode. But we are here today for an actual 100th episode. So, Patrick, we got to do something special, right?
We've got a few tricks up our sleeves today.
Right. So rather than do the normal show, we thought it's the 100th. We got to do some fun stuff. So what do we love doing the most, Patrick?
We love drafts.
That's right. I love drafts. You love drafts. Our listeners probably love drafts because they're listening to us. So what we're going to do, Patrick and listeners, and first off, we're at 100 episodes, Patrick. Let's thank the listeners. Let's go there first because, I'll be honest. I'm not going to toot listeners' horns. We don't care about listeners maybe as much as other shows do, in the sense that Patrick and I would do this anyways. We appreciate you guys very, very much for coming along with us. Patrick and I would schedule a once a week call to talk sports if you guys weren't here, but it does make it a little bit more enjoyable to be able to, run into people in person and say, hey, y'all talked about this on the show. What do you think about it? That happens, some people at church listen to the show. Some other friends text me here and there. So, we get to talk about it. And look, we just love sports. Obviously, we're doing 100 plus episodes of a sports podcast. We like talking sports. So,
just a little bit.
That being said, once again, thank you guys for joining us on this journey. So the journey for this episode, Patrick, we're going to draft, and we're going to draft teams in each sport. Now, last night, the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup. Shout out to them, repeat champs. So the hockey season is over. NHL season is over, which means we officially begin the reign of my and your Seattle Kraken, Patrick. And so I thought in honor of them, what we would do is we're going to draft every sport. Not every sport. We're going to draft baseball, we're going to draft NBA team, and we're going to draft an NFL team. But we're going to essentially treat this in honor of the Kraken like we are starting a franchise. So what does that mean? That doesn't mean we're just going to pick, willy-nilly the best in basketball, the best 5 players available. No, you got to take into consideration that you're building a franchise. You're starting a team. You got to have a team that's going to be good for a couple years. So you may not want to get somebody like Tom Brady because he's old and every year could be his last year. Or maybe you do because you don't care and you want to win a Super Bowl now in your first year. So that's going to kind of add a little bit of, we'll say, some spice to the draft. So we're not just picking straight up. Now, there is also not going to be any restrictions on when you have to draft somebody. So if Patrick, when we do our baseball draft, wants to draft a closing pitcher in the first round, he can. He can have a worse team. That's okay. But he could do that if he wants. If I want to draft left fielder first, I can. So we'll do that for every sport, each one of those sports. Now, some other caveats, Patrick, or a caveat. What we're going to do, I'm going to keep track of these on a handy-dandy Excel spreadsheet. And then, Patrick, we are going to do some research after the fact.
Okay.
And we're going to figure out down the road who actually drafted the best team. So, once football season rolls around, we'll figure out how to do it. But using fantasy points, essentially, for the offense at least, not so much for the defense. We'll just use some other stats maybe. We will, at the end of the seasons, determine who drafted the best team. So this is going to be an ongoing thing, not just for the 100th episode, but for an episode, say, in February when the Super Bowl is over with, for an episode in October, November when the World Series is over, and next year we'll probably get back around to it when the NBA Finals end, doing that with that. So that will be a thing. Also, we're going to put these teams out on the old social media accounts. So obviously, at MIATC Show on Instagram and on Twitter. So make sure you're following us there so that you can vote on who wins, on who you think has the best team. Facebook, Matty Ice and the Chief, and obviously you can follow us on Twitter at Matt_Similar, at Patrick_Howie. Do that there. We are live on YouTube right now, so go subscribe over there. I think you got to hit the bell nowadays so that it'll ding you when we're going live. But do that. Subscribe on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those good things so that you can get an episode as soon as it drops, because if you're not watching it live, that is the quickest way to get it. Now, Patrick, that being said, I'm not going to assume anything here. So I've already decided, Patrick, that I will be drafting for essentially the Mariners. We're going to start over the Mariners franchise. So I'll be drafting for the Mariners. What team are you going to be drafting for? You're drafting for the Cardinals. I'll assume it for you then if you're not going to answer.
No.
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 Are you changing your favorite Major League Baseball team?
I'm not. I would never do that. But I'm drafting for a team who, if it wasn't for me, would continue to suck every single year.
Oh, okay.
I am drafting for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh, okay. So we're going to keep up with team names. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Let me get your NBA team. I obviously am drafting for the Supersonics, Patrick. We're bringing them back.
You know what? I'm going to draft for the Grizzlies.
Okay. I like that. And then I'm going to draft for the Seahawks, obviously, in the NFL. Are you going Colts?
The other terrible teams are in my division. The Pirates are in the same division, but they're never going to do anything. And I would really like for Houston to continue to be bad. So I'm going to draft for the Colts.
Okay. Don't overthink. This is not like saying your team. I'm just giving us team names to go off of. You made this very difficult. Like I was making you actually kill your team and start it over again.
On record, though.
Okay. Well, you're on record. We've discussed your bad fanness when it comes to picking your team anyways. Mm-hmm. So best to maybe stay away from it. So Patrick, I'm going to go first for baseball, and then we'll flip coins for the other two, okay?
Okay.
So, Patrick, with the number 1 overall pick for the Seattle Mariners, I'm going to select the greatest current baseball player, a phenom.
You did this on purpose.
I did do this on purpose. For multiple positions. A marketing, just a flower in a field of weeds in terms of marketing. And I'm going to draft him to the market that he probably should have gone to anyways so that he could reach his max value as a marketing entity, which of course means, Patrick, who am I drafting? I'm drafting Shohei the GOAT Ohtani.
What a shock.
I mean, look, I could have gone other ways, but, I mean, let's be honest. He's the best baseball player right now.
Yeah, he's by far the best. Like, not even close.
All right.
So
who are you taking at your first pick?
Okay. I want somebody I can build around. I need somebody who can be one of the franchise guys. So with my first pick, I'm going to take Fernando Tatis Jr.
Ooh, okay. See, that was going to be my second. That would have been my choice if I'd have let you go first and you'd taken Ohtani. So, I love Tatis Jr.'s dad. So Tatis Sr. He was one of my favorite players back in the day when I was a kid. So I don't disagree with that. Now, Patrick, I am going to say when you make the pick, maybe also tell me position just so I know off the top of my, so I don't have to go look up everybody just in case. He's a shortstop, right?
Fair.
Yeah.
Do what?
He's shortstop, right? Is that where they have him playing?
Shortstop.
I thought so.
He is a superstar shortstop.
Okay, so Patrick, now with my second overall pick, I'm not wasting any time. What I'm doing here in this draft is I'm drafting players who are on teams who are terrible, but they are super dominant. So, Patrick, I think we know where I'm going to go next. And this is a little bit of an older guy. But it's hard for me not to pick him, and because I think he's going to be good for another couple years still at least, and I might as well have it. Patrick, it's Jacob deGrom.
Ooh, I debated picking him with my first overall to go ahead and get pitching. So, I like what you're doing so far.
I obviously like it as well, but yeah,
Really?
I think that's a great place to start.
Absolutely. And you have knocked out because we're doing two pitchers and a closer, right?
Yes.
And you've got the two best pitchers. So all you need is the best closer, and right now you've got the best arms in our MIATC show league. I think I'm going to go opposite of that. I think I'm going to go ahead and continue on with bats. Try and keep scoring runs here for now. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go to the outfield. I'm going to put. I mean, this guy could be like a utility guy anywhere. But right now, I'm going to put him probably in left field. I'm going to go Ronald Acuna Jr.
Okay. That is not about. You said you're going to go left field with it, right? Or correct?
Correct.
Okay. That's also a very good pick. Another young guy. What? He's 20. Is he 23 right now? Yeah, I think he's 23. So that makes a lot of sense. Well, Patrick, since we can kind of play with this a little bit in terms of where you maybe play some guys. So I'm going to do the same thing. And you had a decent shot at picking one of the two guys I was going to draft next. And so who I'm going to draft next, Patrick, is another young player. I'm going to go young this time.
Sure.
I'm going to go outfield. I'm going to pick Juan Soto.
Ooh, I almost got Soto. Are you going to put him in left or right?
I'm going to put him in right for now, knowing that I can play Ohtani in left.
Perfectly fair.
Also, by the way, we're going to play by actual baseball rules. And I realize you're a fan of a National League team, and I'm a fan of an American League team. We are not drafting a DH.
I assumed we were not.
This is our league, and in our league, pitchers bat.
Well, that's easy for you to say. You've got one of the best bats who happens to be a great pitcher. So
it happens.
Yeah, you're probably pretty comfortable with that decision.
I'm feeling okay with it.
You should. All right. I've got two of the league's stars. I don't even say in the making. They're two of the league's stars right now. I need to get some pitching. I don't want to wait too much longer. I'm going to go with a guy who I don't think gets the credit he deserves. And maybe because of where he plays, but he's came onto the scene about a year or so ago, and I think he deserves more credit. I'm going to go with Shane Bieber out of Cleveland.
Ooh, okay.
So that next up, one of my pitchers.
Okay, that's a smart to get somebody because you got somebody who's a pitcher because you've got a tough place. You got a tough lineup to already have to go against with
Right.
my boy Shohei Ohtani. So Patrick, I'm gonna go with a guy and I'm gonna play him at third base.
Okay.
Realizing that he can play in some other spots. Once again, we're going for. I'm going with this one for the conspiracy theory side of it. In that he seems to do a lot of hitting home runs when weird things happen. I'm gonna take Nick Castellanos.
I shouldn't like him, but I love him.
Everybody's got to have that one guy on their team, and he's going to be mine. And I'm gonna put him at third base for now.
That's totally fair.
All right,
Totally.
Patrick, who are you going with next?
All right. I got shortstop. And a lot of the up-and-coming guys are shortstops.
Yeah, where'd you say you're playing Tatis?
Yeah, that was my very first one.
Okay, so you're already playing him at shortstop.
Yeah, playing him at short. I'm going to go ahead and get... No. I know exactly what I want. I'm going with a pattern here for most of my team. I'm putting this guy as my first baseman. I'm with Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm very excited about that.
You're playing him at first, obviously.
Yep.
All right, Patrick. Well, I like what you did there. It's good get. You know what, Patrick? My team's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to be a big time hit on social media. I'm going to go I'm going to go shortstop here, and I'm going to pick a White Sox player. I'm getting Tim Anderson.
I love that because I do love some Tim Anderson.
I have a feeling. I feel like you're going to like my team more than you like yours.
I'm alright.
Is it bad if I win this before it even goes to a vote?
I mean, your team is pretty solid, although I do still like my team. That's the beauty of doing a two-man draft.
I know, right?
We're both going to have some pretty stacked teams. All right. I need to get another pitcher. There's still some pretty solid options here. I'm going to... See, I feel like a lot of people would go with the... Well, I don't know. Actually, no. I know what I'm dealing with by making this pick in terms of age, but he continues to be one of the most dominant pitchers, and that could be one of, like, in year 2 or 3, if I need to, I can go ahead with early on in this imagination, get another pitcher. I'm going to go with a guy who's been one of my favorites for a while. I'm going to go with Max Scherzer.
Okay. Not a bad get. So your pitching lineup's pretty good so far. Patrick,
I'm hating it.
I'm not hating it so far, but you're gonna need it to get around my team a little bit. Patrick, I'm gonna keep it younger on this one.
Sure.
I'm gonna go with a guy who has the same birthday with me. I'm going to go to second base, Patrick.
Okay.
I'm getting Craig Biggio's son.
Ooh.
That puts me in a nice spot. My infield is rounding out quite nicely so far.
Quite nicely. That's a pretty solid one. All right.
Kevin Thomas Biggio, born on April 11th. Shout out, sir. Although I do have a slight problem with him going to Notre Dame, but that's neither here nor there.
That's totally fair. All right. Let's go to the outfield. I need a center fielder, and I need a right fielder. Let's go back here. I've got some pop in my bats already. Ooh, I'm going to go with a guy who can make some great defensive plays. Somehow he's still available. I'm going to put him in center. Mookie Betts.
Ooh, yeah, I thought about going Mookie, and then I didn't. Obviously. You're putting him in center.
Right now I'm really loving this outfield.
This is you've got a good outfield so far.
Count it out.
Now, what am I going to do next? Do I keep it young? Do I go older maybe? Do I, who am I going to go with? Well, I think, Patrick, similar to you, I'm going to actually just go ahead and finish out my my infield because I need to finish out my infield. So let's see. I'm going to go first base, obviously, then. And I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. I know who I'm going to get, Patrick. I am going to select, if it'll let me actually load it up so that I can do this. This is the problem with running my computer on literally everything. Patrick, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies first baseman, Rhys Hoskins.
I like that.
And that is basically, that's my infield, isn't it? 1, 2. Yeah. Okay. And see, this is going to be nice because I'm going to get a bonus player because Ohtani counts for both.
Yeah, that's what happens whenever you make sure you draft first.
Well, you're going to get to draft first for the NBA. So, and then we will flip a coin for the NFL. So now you are up with your next pick, which I believe is the 7th overall pick. Or the 7th pick.
This is
my
overall. 7th guy. You know what? I'm going to go with, let's see what we can do at 3rd. Neither of us have drafted a third baseman. I want to make sure I get one of the best.
I've got a third baseman.
Wait, do you?
Technically.
Yeah, you got Castellanos.
Yeah, technically.
You put him at 3rd. I could use a second. I could use my second. Let me get out of this. I don't know why this is in my way. Here in a second. Let's look at 3rd. I'm trying to make a decision between one of 2 guys. And let me look at this really quickly before I make my decision.
Can we just, while you're looking and deciding on your next pick.
I've got it.
Before you make your pick, can we just mention that the last person who I picked, his nickname is Reese Lightning.
Reese Lightning.
I'm glad you get that. Also, Big Hosk. He's got like...
Ooh, I like that.
That's such a good... Hosk. He's got such a good name for nicknames.
Big Hosk.
All right, who are you getting?
All right, I'm going to pick my third baseman. There are several bigger names that you could go with, but none that I would really want to build a team around. I'm going to go with a guy who I feel quietly is one of the better third basemen in terms of batting.
Okay.
See, this is the issue. Do I go with him or you know what? I'm controlling the Pittsburgh Pirates,
Yes, you are.
and right now they have a young stud at third. They need to try and do whatever they can to keep him. I'm going to go with someone who already is in Pittsburgh. I'm staying young in my infield. I'm going to go with Brian Hayes.
Okay. I like that.
Now he's my third baseman for a very long time.
Well, Patrick, for my next pick, I'm going to go with somebody who's not necessarily a spring chicken, but surprisingly hasn't been picked and is potentially the best baseball player of our generation. I got to fill out center field. I'm going to get Mike Trout.
I already knew.
How is Mike Trout still available?
That's a very good question. Well, I mean,
he is older.
He's not old, but compared to most of the guys that we've already drafted, yeah, he's older.
He's got some miles on him.
And I chose to go a little bit younger at center. I drafted Mookie. All right, my next pick. We're going to go a different route here. We're going to go catcher. We haven't looked at catchers. We haven't really talked about catchers.
It's funny because I've been trying to keep it quiet because that's where I was going next.
Well,
didn't want you going there, but
just a tad too late. Problem is, really, when you think about it, we don't really have that dominant catcher in terms of batting.
Yeah.
Yachty is getting way up there. I mean, I continue to wonder how long he can even play. And a lot of the guys who we grew up watching in terms of catchers, like your Buster Posies, they're getting up there too. So, I mean, we're kind of used to growing up having a lot of well-rounded, dominant catchers playing. And right now, no one has really stepped up to be the next guy. But I'm getting probably someone who comes very close to that. I'm going to go with Salvador Perez.
Ooh, okay.
My catcher. Another guy who's a little bit older.
Well, as we're talking about a little bit older, I just want to point out that you and I both kind of said that Mike Trout was getting old. Granted, a lot of miles. We did caveat it. He's still not 30, Patrick.
Yeah, I know.
Mike Trout is not 30 yet. Well, Patrick, am also going to go catcher now. That was where I was going to go next anyways. This is my team. This is my franchise. I have already picked a guy who has my birthday, shares a birthday with me. I am now going to pick a catcher who happens to share a birthday with my sister. This is pure happenstance. I didn't do that on purpose. But Patrick, I'm going to draft Oakland A's catcher Sean Murphy.
Ooh, I like that.
He's a younger catcher as far as that goes, but a very good one. So that is my pick. Patrick, you're up next.
All right. I need a second baseman. I need a right fielder. And I need a closer. You also need a closer.
I do need a closer.
So guess where I'm going with this pick?
You're going closer because you're going to try and steal my closer.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm going.
Why would you ever do such a thing?
Because I'm trying to get a better team than you.
That's fair.
So I have to get first pick of closers. That's how, in my brain, this works.
That's smart. Smart on your part.
So, question is, who's it going to be? like 2 or 3 guys in my head. I'm gonna go with one of the most dominant ones for a while. I'm gonna go Josh Hader out of Milwaukee.
Ooh, okay. There's your closing pitcher. Patrick, I appreciate what you've done for me. In that you've left me exactly who I wanted to pick as a closing pitcher all along. Now, people are going to look at my list and think, sir, you're an idiot. And they're going to look at that because, Patrick, I'm going to have 2 pitchers from a pitching staff of a terrible team, which means I'm going back to the Mets again, and I'm going to draft Edwin Sugar Diaz, who should have never been gone from Seattle. I haven't picked a Seattle guy yet. I'm bringing Edwin Diaz back to Seattle.
There you go.
A Mariner once again.
I can get behind that. All right. Second base or right field. I'm going to go ahead and fix up my infield here. You have the young Biggio.
I do.
Which means I could go several routes here. Go Altuve. I don't know if I am. I could go... I'm going to go with another KC star. I'm going to go with Whit Merrifield.
Okay.
That's my second baseman.
Let me, if I can get over there. Because, as I'm sure if you're watching the YouTube stream, you probably noticed that my computer is struggling with this hardcore and not wanting to let me do things. I would like to put Patrick's pick in. That's your second baseman. So let's see. Technically, Patrick, I'm going to play it this way. I'm going to play Ohtani in left field most days. So my last pick is going to be another starting pitcher. The trick here is I've got to figure out who I'm going to pick, which is a little bit tough. So, Patrick, I'm going to go with another guy. So, again, I'm picking a lot of guys who are on teams that maybe aren't necessarily the best. I'm going to go very, very young here. I'm going to go to the Miami Marlins, Patrick, and I'm going to pick starting pitcher Trevor Rogers.
That is a great up-and-coming selection there. I like that one a lot.
I believe he's currently 10th in WAR for pitchers. So take that for what you will. Ooh, yeah. Although I'm a little upset at myself, Patrick. I just looked at his full name, and I'm a little disappointed in the fact that I just picked somebody whose full name is Trevor Jadaniel Rogers.
You could take that as a great thing if you wanted to.
I guess. I mean, we're calling him Trev anyways. His Twitter handle, by the way, is @traw1691.
It's probably a smart decision.
Oh, but it's okay. We got some youth in our pitching staff, which is going to be nice.
Exactly. All right. I have the very last pick. I need a right fielder. A couple guys I'm considering. A lot of guys I'm looking at, and no way I would touch. I mean, guys like Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge. I mean, yeah, they can hit bombs, but they're not really consistent. I've got it.
Ooh, okay.
I'm putting him in right field. Cody Bellinger.
Ooh, oh. How did we miss him?
The very last pick.
Well, that is kind of the the chance you take when it's a 2-team draft. You some of these guys are going to slip a little bit farther than you would like. Your team, you got a pretty decent team there, Patrick, I think.
As do you.
So real quick, I am reordering this so that I can actually not go by pick so much and go by position. Let's see who. Vlad. We are almost there. Scherzer. Who's your other starter? Oh, Bieber.
Shane Bieber. The Biebs.
And then your closer, Hater, and then I forgot catchers because everybody forgets catchers. The most forgotten team in baseball or position in baseball. All right, Patrick. So let's go. We'll do it by position instead of the actual draft order, so that we can actually go around the horn, as they would say in baseball. Let me get these just filled out here real quick so I don't get confused. Starting pitcher, closer, and catcher. Nope. All right, Patrick. So in left field, you've got Ronald Acuna Jr. I've got Shohei Ohtani, best player in baseball. You got Mookie Betts. I got Mike Trout in moving over to center. In right field, you've got Cody Bellinger. I've got Juan Soto. You got Hayes at third base. I've got Castellanos. Tatis Jr. is at shortstop for you, and I have Tim Anderson. We've got quite the social media following in our shortstop crew. You've got Merrifield playing second. I've got the younger Biggio. You got Vlad Guerrero Jr. playing first. I got Rhys Hoskins. And for starting pitchers, we've got you with Max Scherzer and Shane Bieber. I've got Jacob deGrom and Trevor Rogers. Closing, you've got Hader. I've got Diaz. And at catcher, you've got Sal Perez. And I've got Sean Murphy. So those are two stellar teams. We'll keep up with those again. We'll keep up with some stats on those guys and determine statistically who is the better player. But what can you do right now? Right now, head over to Instagram and probably Twitter if you want and vote. We will have not live. If you're live, don't do this right now. Wait a minute and then do it. But we will have Matt's roster, Patrick's roster. You can vote on which one you think is better. And we'll see who's right down the road. Now, Patrick, let's go to your team or your game. Let's go to the NBA. So I will probably win Major League Baseball. That's a wash. It's both of our sport, but I think I have the better team. So we'll see. Let's go to your sport. You're going to be drafting for the Grizzlies. I'm going to be drafting for the newly refounded Seattle Supersonics. And my wife will continue to watch the Spelling Bee on the TV. Spelling Bee's on. We tried to watch there's no Olympic trials on right now, so we couldn't watch that. The NBA finals haven't started yet tonight, although they're about to. But I think she would rather probably watch the Spelling Bee. And let's be honest, there will probably be more action in the Spelling Bee than an NBA game.
True.
Just kidding. Just kidding. But we're going to draft starting in the NBA. So, Patrick, you get to go first here. Who you picking?
I'm going with a guy who he's not playing at this point, but I think he's the best player in basketball. I'm going with Kevin Durant.
Okay. Now, we're not going to be as picky on position here. I mean, try and do whatever, but I realize
put him as my power forward.
Okay. I realize basketball is a little bit more of a fluid. You can play a different system, whatever. So you got Kevin Durant to go to the Grizzlies. That's cool. That's a good pick. I don't disagree with you. I actually think he is the current best player. But, Patrick, I'm going to pick the best young player and the best player probably for the next 10 years, and that is local boy by way of Slovenia, Luka Doncic.
I knew you were going to go with an international player.
And
I don't know who.
I'm technically going to put him at small forward for now.
All right.
My lineup might change when we get farther down, but we'll see.
Fair enough. All right. I've got pick number 2. I'm going to go ahead and get my point guard.
Patrick,
and
I'm also going to say this while you're making your pick. We're going to pick 6 people. We're going to pick starting 5 and a 6th man.
I like that.
So now your second pick.
Also keeping up so that way we have multiple records.
Good call.
Again, my point guard, and I'm very happy with this decision. I'm going with Chef Curry.
Ooh. You're going to put him at the point?
You better believe it.
Well, Patrick, I am going to also go point guard here. I'm going to steal your boy. I'm taking John Morant.
Totally fair.
So you're going to win now. You might win the championship in your first year, but we're going to win it for 17 years in a row after that.
You're building it to go that route.
All right, Patrick, now you got a third pick. Who are you taking at 3?
With my third pick, I'm going to go with my other forward position. I'm going to go with Jason Tatum.
Ooh. Okay. Let me get that in. If my phone will let, or if my computer will let me. Jason Tatum. You're going to play him at small forward. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a fun matchup to watch for years, Patrick. Luka versus Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I've now got my third pick. Well, you know what? I'm going to make this real simple. You've got Kevin Durant, so I got to do something with that. I'm taking the Greek Freak.
You have to.
And I'm going to put him at power forward, obviously. What is maybe still the most impressive is I still know how to spell his name, despite not having my old job anymore, where I had to spell it all the time.
Well, I've never known how to spell his name. It only helps that I'm looking at it right now.
All right, you're up next, Patrick.
Giannis versus Durant is going to be sick.
Yeah.
All right. I want to go with another guard. Actually, no. I'm not going to go guard. I'm going to strengthen up that backcourt. Why not go with the MVP? We're going to go with freaking the Joker, Nikola Jokic.
Dang it. I was hoping you were going to go guard because that's who I was going to take. Well, Patrick, now with my 4th spot, I'm going to play him at shooting guard. I'm taking Mr. Clutch himself, Dame Lillard.
Love that.
I had to. I need to get him out of that crap town of Portland and get him to Seattle.
You know, he's never going to win in Portland, unfortunately.
Probably not. All right, Patrick, you your next one, I guess you've kind of got to go shooting guard. I guess you could pick your 6th man if you want.
I could pick my 6th man, but I'm going to go ahead and solidify. Someone's going to go against Dame. Question is, who can play some defense?
Good luck.
Good luck. I know who I want. Ooh. I know who I want. And stick with it. Picking Devin Booker was very very, very, very tempting. But I've got to go with Bradley Beal.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing you're okay. Never mind. You are making a machine guy. Well, Patrick, I'm gonna do something weird here because you didn't take who I was thinking of taking. It. I thought you were gonna take him, so I didn't. I hadn't planned on going with my sixth man with my 5th overall pick.
But here we are.
Patrick. I'm picking the book. I'm picking Devin Booker.
See, it was between Beal or Booker. So I love that. All right. I've got my 6th man. Literally anybody left. My thing is, look, we haven't picked LeBron. You only have a center. You're not playing LeBron at center, I assume.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. My thing is, he's probably got like 2 years left. I don't want a guy with 2 years left as my 6th man. So, plus, I don't think LeBron would sign up to be the 6th man. So I'm going to do this.
Okay.
My team is pretty lengthy right now. We got guys like Tatum, we got Durant, we got Jokic. I need to get someone a little smaller. So I'm going to go with my 6th man. I'm going to go Trae Young.
Ooh, okay. That's a good get. I'm sure my wife, who is
Bring
listening,
a ton of energy because that's what you want as a 6th man.
I assume my wife, who is listening, will enjoy the fact that a Oklahoma Sooner got picked.
Select.
But rightfully relegated to being the 6th man. So not getting to play. Well, Patrick, you are correct. I do need to go center next. I am not going to pick LeBron at center. So this is going to be an interesting. We might get lambasted by people for.
We are, but we can.
I mean, look, we did caveat this with you are starting a franchise. And the fact that you are starting a franchise means that you might not want LeBron James, a.k.a. the franchise killer. I mean, like, look at how many teams, or look at the teams he's left. How many of those teams are in a good spot now? You could argue Miami is okay, but how long has LeBron been gone from there? Is Cleveland any good? Not at all. So, might I be good with LeBron James on my roster for the first couple years? Sure, but when he retires, what's going to happen? That team's going to go to crap. And I don't want that for my franchise. I'm bringing the Seattle Supersonics back. I definitely don't want that. We are wearing those dope green and orange uniforms, Patrick. We're gonna rock the mid-'90s versions because that's my thing. So, Patrick, I need a center. What are you going to say?
There's 2 guys I think you should take. One, who I really consider as my 6th man, but I needed somebody smaller. I needed another guard. I don't think I'm going to consider him.
Do you want to know
but
who
if
I'm
I
going
were
to pick
in
first?
your position, I would very heavily consider him.
Do you want to know who I'm going to pick?
Who are you going to pick?
Well, we want to have some Twitter fun, so I'm going to pick Joel Embiid.
That's fair.
I like his defensive presence, and when you look at my team, I don't need Joel Embiid to score a bunch. I just need him to provide fun for the team, be best friends with Luka. My defense is going to come from John Morant and Dame and Booker. Like, I've got plenty of defense there. I've got length with Giannis. I think Joel Embiid fits perfectly into this team.
There's one guy who I hate didn't get picked, but I get it. And the guy who I was very vividly, or not vividly, very vaguely trying to get you to consider.
Bobby Portis.
No, it was Julius Randle.
Oh, okay, yeah. Essentially a lesser known name, but yeah. It might have been a good move there, but I'm going to go with the Twitter following and get funny Joel Embiid. The team videos are going to be a lot of fun, and I think you get somebody like Dame Lillard, who is just a straight assassin, and get him to get Joel Embiid to kind of focus on the court real well and play super super hard, and watch out.
Your social media team has already thanked you, so you may want to make sure they get a little raise because they've got a lot of work ahead.
What do they need? No. What do they need a raise for? Joel's going to do all the work for them. I've signed him to be my starting center and my social media guy.
You've also gave him a desk.
He is starting center / social media manager. I got a twofer with that. I got to do the same thing I did with Otani there. I got a twofer. All right, so Patrick, let's go over your NBA team. So your Grizzlies, should I do it like a starting lineup? At point guard. No. So you've got Steph Curry at the point. Bradley Beal is going to be your starting shooting guard. Jason Tatum at small forward. Kevin Durant at power forward. The Joker at center. And Trae Young coming off the bench to provide a crazy good spark. On the other side, Patrick, I've got John Moran at the point. Dame Lillard, who isn't shooting guard, but those two guys can swap at any point they want. Luka Doncic, of course, at small forward. Giannis at power forward. Joel Embiid at center / social media manager. And Devin Booker as my sixth man. So that is our NBA draft rosters. So once again, go to that social media, make your picks, or make your selection on who is the best. So now, Patrick, we're going to do football next, which is going to be Colts, Seahawks. We're restarting those franchises, essentially.
Yep.
Now, we are going to draft a starting 22, plus kickers and punters.
Love it.
So we're going to try and go through this fairly quickly. Now, I'm not going to put any caveats on it. You can run whatever defense you want. You can run whatever offense you want. So pick how you want to pick. Now, I'm going to flip a coin. As our mutual friend Tyler Sylvie has recently got me and my wife into a Dungeons & Dragons group with him and Mark Ryder. Patrick, you aren't invited. You're not invited because you're not a big enough nerd. But I have a fancy little coin here, and the listeners may not be able to see it, Patrick, but there is a heads. If you can see it, there's a heads. And then on the back side, there's a little sword. That's going to be tails, okay? So, fairy woman on the one side, sword on the other. So, you're going to call in the air. I'll tell you when. So, call it.
Sword.
Ooh, it is Ladyhead. So that means I get the first pick. Yes! All right, Patrick. With the first pick overall in our NFL draft, not wasting any time, this is not going to surprise anybody. I am taking Patrick Mahomes II.
That surprised me.
Why did that surprise you?
I mean, I know why you did it. Well, you're the Seahawks. Why not make sure you bring the Seahawk back home?
Because, Patrick, once again, we're starting a franchise, which means I want to win down the road. And sure, Russell Wilson gives me a great chance to win right now. But in football, I need a quarterback who's going to be there long term. As young as Patrick Mahomes is, I've got plenty of years with what might be the best quarterback in the NFL right now. So, Patrick Mahomes. You get your first pick. Who are you taking?
Like, before I go on, I want to, because I'm laying out as I pick. So we've got a quarterback, running back. I'm assuming 2 receivers. We're picking 3.
You can do it however you want.
Well, I gotta know.
Well, do you want a fullback? If you want a fullback, then you can't take 3 receivers, Patrick.
I don't want a fullback.
Who needs a fullback in today's NFL?
I'll pick a 3rd receiver. So a tight end, 2 tackles, 2 guards, a center. Assuming 2 defensive ends, a tackle or DT, 3 linebackers. We doing 2 safeties, 2 corners.
You can run whatever defense you want, Patrick.
Okay. It's more pressure for me than I thought.
Patrick, I thought this was going to be easier allowing you to run the team you want to run than me telling you how to run your team.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Okay.
Okay, first pick.
All right. You went quarterback. Completely understand that. Completely understand that. I am gonna go a different approach.
Okay.
Doesn't happen very often, but very rarely. We haven't seen it in quite some time. I'm going to go with the offensive line. I want some people movers. So the question is, and also, why isn't it filtering it the way I want it to? I'm going to go ahead and pick my left tackle.
Ooh.
And all right, I need it to filter it the way I want it to. Okay.
Patrick, this is the first pick overall. This should be a quicker pick.
Well, you would think if this website would cooperate. All right. I think we're going to have some. Okay. Actually, no, we're not picking a left tackle. Okay. We're going to do something different here. Because there's not...
Your clock's going to run out, and I'm going to make another pick.
Oh, I don't want a freaking... Was it Minnesota? I don't want a Minnesota situation. Dang, this is really tough.
I'm about to jump you, Patrick.
We've already got Mahomes.
Because we got to keep the clock. We got to keep it moving a little bit.
Oh,
well, it's a good thing you're not an actual GM.
I know. I would probably not be very good.
If you're struggling with this much,
I'm going to say screw it. I'm picking one of the. You can't pick a guard here. Well, I'm picking probably one of the best offensive linemen. And he's going to be playing on the line for another 10 so years. You can suck it with all your homer crap. I'm picking Quentin Nelson.
Well, Patrick, I'm glad you finally picked it because I was going to pick him at number 2 overall anyway. I was going to pick him with my second pick, so it's a good thing for you that you did go ahead and pick him because if you didn't, he was going to be off the board. Okay, well, so that changes what I'm going to do a little bit. Now it's time for me to do it. Patrick, number 2 overall, second overall pick for me, I'm going to take a wide receiver. I'm taking DK Metcalf.
Totally fair.
Who you got with your second?
Okay. Quinn needs somebody to actually block 4.
It's a good thought.
I know I waited so long to pick a quarterback. I'm going to go with a guy who he's played in the league for a grand total of 1 year, but he's going to be my quarterback for a very long time.
Oh, hang on, Patrick. Before you make this pick, lovely wife, would you like to come in here and make Patrick's pick for him? Because do you remember what we talked about yesterday while we were taking a certain puppy somewhere? Do you remember the name? Oh, she doesn't remember the name. You're going to pick Justin Herbert, aren't you?
I am.
we were
I
talking.
am.
So, full disclosure, this was technically Erin's idea to do this whole draft. She was like, "You just draft just draft." She may have meant all time. I don't know for sure. Like at each position, she's like, "Just draft like the best players." And so this is what turned into. This is our 100th episode. We'll do this. So we were talking about yesterday while we were walking a dog, and I said, "Now look." I explained the rules to her, how we were going to, you're building a franchise, essentially. I said, so I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes overall, or at 1 overall. And she goes, you're not going to take Russell? Same thing as you. And I said, well, you got to think about Patrick Mahomes being a lot younger, yada, yada. And I said, watch, I'm going to do that. And then Patrick's going to immediately pick Justin Herbert as his quarterback. So Patrick, you have drafted the 2 people I thought you were going to for sure draft. So I'm liking this.
You are welcome.
Now, Patrick, I should probably start considering some of the other positions like offensive line, but I'm going to be so unstoppable that it doesn't matter. With my 3rd pick, Patrick, I'm going to go wide receiver again. I'm taking Minnesota's Justin Jefferson.
I like that.
And what I'm saying to you, Patrick, is you better start thinking about defense because who is going to stop Patrick Mahomes throwing to Justin Jefferson and DK Metcalf?
What if I told you I've already considered that, even before you picked Justin Jefferson?
It's good.
I'm going to go to the opposite side of the ball.
Okay.
I'm picking Jalen Ramsey.
Ooh. Okay.
My 3rd selection.
Okay.
One of the best corners in the league.
Not a bad move. Which one are you lining him up on? Or is he going to stick on like the right side and...
I think he's probably going to shadow the 1.
Okay. I don't know who I'm considering the 1 at this point.
That's fair.
Now, Patrick, I'm going to make it even tougher for you because you know what? I'm going to go 3 wide receivers in a row.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to make it so you have to stop us somehow. Patrick, I'm going to Tennessee. I'm taking A.J. Brown.
You're getting the studs here.
I'm getting the studs at wide receiver early because I got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. Good luck is all I'm saying.
Okay. Totally fair. I think... Considering defense again, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to go defense again because I need to generate some sacks.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with TJ Watt.
Dang it! No! That was literally where I was going next. Well, Patrick, that makes it a little bit real easy for me. I'm going to take Joey Bosa.
I almost did that.
If you hadn't gone TJ Watt, I was going to take TJ Watt. Since you did, obviously, I am having to go with Joey Bosa. And I'm not upset about that at all. Like, you could have done me dirty, but that's not doing me dirty. I'll take Joey Bosa all day.
Completely fair. All right. I've got one on the O-line. I got my quarterback. Got some defense. I'm going to go... Let's get a wide receiver. Because I do need some of those.
You might.
I might need at least one.
And I've got a bunch of them.
You do have a bunch. So let's... We need... You know what? I'm going to wait one more. No.
Well,
I need a wide receiver.
But if we're being honest, Patrick, no, I'm not going to tell you anything.
That's okay. That's perfectly fine.
You're on your own.
No, I don't want him. You know what? I'm considering one of two guys at wide receiver. Let's see. We're going to do it no matter what. We're going to take Devontae Adams.
Ooh, that's smart.
And I'm very happy with that selection.
That is not a bad idea. Let me mark you as having a receiver. I've got a very fancy method for keeping up with things here, if we're being honest. Well, Patrick, you know what? Let's just – I'm going to make it as tough as you as I possibly can to pass the football. I realize you went offensive line very first pick, but I'm going to make it very tough on those guys. I'm going to pick Nick Bosa.
Ooh,
on the other side.
Brothers.
I'm gonna put the brothers on the same team and put them on opposite ends and let them go at it.
That's very scary. Just want you to know that.
Yeah, that's the plan, Patrick.
All right. Justin needs some more protection.
He does now.
Just put second Bosa brother. Who should we get on the O line? I need somebody who's going to be there for a long time. Not a good time, a long time.
Yes.
Actually, I see your move, and I'm going to take a page out of your playbook.
Oh.
Because I don't have a defensive end yet. And I need somebody who can just wreak havoc for a long time. I'm going to go Chase Young.
Ooh. So are you counting T.J. Watt as a linebacker?
Yes, he is a linebacker.
Okay. I needed to make sure on that because I was going to play him at DN.
I got him listed as a linebacker.
Okay. So I need to I messed that up anyways. So you're good. Let's see. So you're playing him at linebacker. So I'm going to say linebacker and D-end. Okay. So, Patrick, I've got a lot of young people on my defensive line. So I'm going to go somewhere a little bit older.
Okay.
And I'm going to go somewhere maybe you wouldn't think I would go because I absolutely abhor this team. I'm taking Aaron Donald.
You know what? I think that is a very wise decision.
Can you just imagine you got cute little Justin Herbert, little Justin Bieber on your team, and he lines up behind the center and he looks over and he goes, "Oh, there's Joey. Oh, that's Joey Bosa. Oh crap, that's Nick. Oh, Aaron Donald."
Oh, we are in deep trouble.
Big doo-doo.
Big, fat doo-doo. All right.
So what are you going to do to counteract that, Patrick? Or are you going to go somewhere else?
I need to work on counteracting that because if I don't, he might die.
He might.
He might legit die. So let's see what I can do here. I'm going to go a little bit older, but I'm going to go with one of the best tackles in the game right now. Okay. I'm going to go Trent Williams.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to go with Trent, and we're going to be just fine.
Okay, so you've got
Nelson, and the left side is secured.
Yes, it is for you. All right, that's a good slot. So, Patrick, what am I going to do next? I'm not super worried about your defense yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Um, let's see. Ooh, I know what I'm doing. Patrick, I'm going to make my defense even stronger. Do you know what I'm doing next? I'm going corner. Tre'Davious White.
Throwback Goalie Academy.
Hoo-hoo-hoo. I like that pick a lot. Man, I've gone 4 defense in a row. Bosa, Donald, Trey White. That's not too shabby.
That ain't shabby at all.
Okay, you're up. Who you taking?
I need to get another wide receiver. Let's see what I can do here. I need someone that's just going to have some pure... I want someone with more than one tool in his tool belt.
Okay.
I'm going to say give me just some solid options right here. But I'm going to say give me Stephon Diggs.
Ooh. Okay, I like that. So Patrick finally gets him a second wide receiver.
Yep.
Waited a little bit longer than I did to get my second one.
Just a little bit.
Little bit longer. Now, Patrick, I'm going to do something next. The age-wise might not make a ton of sense. But that's okay. Because you start looking at my team, and we're fairly young for the most part. We could use some veteran leadership. So, Patrick, I've got to bring the guy home. He's got to be on my team. I'm going to go middle linebacker. I'm taking Bobby Wagner.
I like that, though.
I realize he's older, but he's not lost a step yet, and still one of the best, and still somehow one of the most underrated linebackers in the league.
I'd have to agree with that. I'd have to agree. All right. I think I'm going to go back to the defensive side of the ball. Let's see. What are we going to do here? No, I don't want that. Okay, good. I see your middle linebacker position, and I'm going to raise you, in some sense, a middle linebacker, because I'm going to take Fred Warner.
Okay, that's a good pick. Okay, so Patrick's got got his second linebacker out of the 3. Now, Patrick, I think I'm going to go, what do I do here? You know what, Patrick? I am going to go interior offensive line now. I'm going to set up a nice little solid bit. I'm going to go Joel Bitonio out of Cleveland. Take a guard.
All right. I like that.
Nice solid player. It'll make our good buddy Roger happy.
Player. Indeed.
Okay, you're up next. What are you taking?
All right. I am, let's see. I'm going to stick with the offensive line. And I'm going to get, I've already got a dominant guy on the left side. I'm going to go ahead and get a dominant guy on the right side. I'm going to get Ryan Ramczyk.
Ooh, I like that pick a lot.
So you've got tons of guys who can disrupt the O-line But I'm making sure I have guys who can offset that.
You're technically going to play him at guard, I'm assuming.
Oh, he's going to be my right tackle.
Oh, you're going to put a right tackle. Okay, I'm glad I asked. Not that it necessarily matters. You would know where you have him, but
he's my tackle.
When I inevitably mess up and say that you need what position you need, now I have it correct because I asked. Well, you know what, Patrick? I like this idea as well of getting the offensive line set up. Apparently, I really like Cleveland's offensive line. I'm taking Jack Conklin.
Okay. He plays right, doesn't he?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
But I'm less concerned about that currently. I will play. If you can play tackle, you can play tackle.
You can play tackle and tackle?
All right, you're up next. Where are you going?
All right. I'm just going to go ahead and just make a swoop here. This is my 12th pick. I'm going to get a Swiss Army knife type of guy on my offense. I'm going to draft Travis Kelce as my tight end.
Ooh, okay. I've kind of been avoiding him a little bit because he is getting older. He's not old yet, but
he's not old yet. He's still got some time.
Not showing any signs of slowing down. Well, let's see. What do I want to do next? Tell you what, Patrick. I'm going to play a guy at right. Well, technically, I would play Conklin at left tackle probably. And I know he's listed as a guard, but I'm going to move him out to right tackle. I'm going to get Ali Marpet.
Ooh, I like that a lot. So you're moving Jack to left, and then you're going to play Ali at right?
Yep. That is how I'm going to do it. So far, my O-line's looking pretty good.
I have to agree with that.
Can you see how, apparently I really like to draft in waves?
Yeah.
Fill out a position.
You're definitely got some clusters.
Yeah. All right, who are you going with next?
Okay. I have... Okay. I need to fill up the back end of this team. So, let's see what we can do here. I know what we can do. I know exactly what we can do. Because we're going to get another shutdown guy.
Ooh, okay. You're going to need him.
I'm going to get my CB2. Although he technically could be CB1B. Because I'm going to take Jair Alexander.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. Okay, so Patrick loading up on the back end, trying to stop my incredible offense. Well, Patrick, my offense just got a little bit more dangerous. But once again, from one of the big boys, one of the hog mollies, Patrick, I'm taking, surprisingly still on the board, I'm taking Corey Linsley.
As your right guard?
I'm going to put him at center.
Oh, okay. Nice decision.
He played center for the Packers last year, so...
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the whole MCL thing, not great, but...
Still.
He's a lineman. He doesn't need it.
You're going for longer term.
Yeah, he doesn't need it.
All right. We've waited pretty long, and I know your opinion on this, but I'm going to go ahead and snag mine. The question is going to be who exactly I want. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get my pick of the whole shebang. injury concerns are there, but we're going to make sure that he is healthy for the long haul. And I think the O-line that he's going to be playing behind is going to help him a lot. Let's go ahead and get a dual threat guy. We're going to take Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, not a bad idea. I've kind of been throwing around whether I was going to go after him or not. And you've now made my decision for me. So you'll be going running back there. I will be holding to the running backs don't matter and draft a running back much later. Patrick, I'm going to do something that seems a little bit out of order for me. And that is I'm going to finish out my offensive line.
I knew you would.
And Patrick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft a very young guard, but a guard who, other than being injured last year, was a very, very good early on guard. And I think he's going to develop into a better and better guard as his quarterback gets better and better, or at least maybe stays the same. So, Patrick, I'm going to go guard here. I'm going to go back to Cleveland once again, and I'm taking Wyatt Teller.
You are making Roger happy.
I know Roger's going to wish. I should have asked him if he wanted to call in for this show because he is our most mentioned friend of the show, and he's almost been your replacement for episodes when you were gone multiple times, and it's just never happened. And, as much as I think at this point you and him cannot meet. It has to be that you two can never meet, but be friends via Twitter, Facebook, text message chains, but you are not allowed to actually meet. I think it is absolutely law, and it is forbidden. You cannot meet Roger, but he will be very happy that my offensive line is very Browns heavy.
I mean, he might chat himself with all these Cleveland guys being taken.
There's a chance.
I really need to stack up on my defense. So we're going to look on the defensive side of the ball here. Let's go. Let's see. What do I have? Okay. I need another linebacker. We need to solidify the middle of this field here. I think I know who I want. Let's go DT. Do I have a middle? Yeah, I do. That's an option.
If I have to jump you again?
No, because I already know who I want.
Okay.
It might be a little homer-ish, but I'm going to go with my defensive tackle position. I'm going to go with DeForest Buckner.
No! Dang it, Patrick. I literally had him pulled up. I was about to pick him. Obviously, I'm not anymore. So now I kind of have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Let's see. What do I want to do here? Let me... See, because there's a way I could go with this and stay same position. But he's a little bit older than I would like, so I don't necessarily want to go that route. So what do I want to do here? Let me see. Let's see. He didn't get arrested this offseason, did he?
Who?
I'm looking before I make the pick. I'm checking. No, he just he was on the COVID list for a day.
For a day?
At least I don't think he was, so I'm going to go ahead and pick him, Patrick. I'm going to take Chris Jones at D tackle.
I like that.
Oh, you throw him next to Aaron Donald?
That's pretty dang scary.
And the Bosa brothers? Whoo!
I know.
You're not getting past the line of scrimmage. I'll put it that way.
All right. So I've got my corners solidified. Ramsey and Jair Alexander. Let's put somebody with those two. I'm going to take the first safety in this draft. I'm going to go Budda Baker.
Ooh, I like that pick.
And I'm very happy with that.
Now, Patrick, I'm going to do something here that's not going to make a whole lot of sense. To you, maybe. I'm going to revolutionize the NFL. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm only going to run 2 linebackers.
Only going to run 2 linebackers.
Only going to run 2 linebackers.
Right now, I only see 1.
Well, I'm also not picking it here. Because, Patrick, what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to pick a guy, and I'm going to make him, Joey Bosa, and Nick Bosa all kind of play a hybrid defensive end linebacker position and do something real crazy. Why? Because, Patrick, I'm picking, once again, a Cleveland Browns player. I'm picking Mr. Jurassic Park himself, Myles Garrett.
How did he fall so far? I don't understand.
Well, you didn't pick him. I mean, I picked my 2 D ends early.
I considered him for a lot of options and just continued to let him go, and then here he is. All right. So, you've already got your center. I need a center.
You do. You got the pick of the litter now, though.
I've got the pick of the litter, like you said. All right. Let's see. Roy Lindsay's off the board. That's hard on. I'm going to take somebody. I know exactly what I'm going to take.
Okay.
At center for your Indianapolis Colts.
Ooh.
Frank Ragnow.
Ooh.
You can't tell me that he isn't deserving to be drafted whenever he played last year with a freaking... What did he play with? A fractured throat.
Yeah, something weird like that.
Throat.
So, all right, Patrick, it is now my turn to make a pick here. I've got an older linebacker, so I'm going to go a younger linebacker here. So for the
is this your only other backer?
This is my only other backer, official backer. I've got a lot of them floating around. But Patrick, I'm going to go for the second straight pick with a guy named Miles. I'm taking Miles Jack.
Miles Jack, I like that.
And you, sir, will like it.
What pick is that for you now? That's 17.
Yes.
All right. Let's look here. What else do I need?
You need a kicker. You need a punter.
I'm not worried about kickers and punters right now. Let's look at... I still need another defensive end. So let's see who I can play there. No.
What you gonna do?
I'm like, John picked.
Better make it quick. On this back end, we're going to have to put a clock on.
All right.
I got to get to the end of this spelling bee competition. So,
actually, no. I'm not going to go defensive end right now. I'm going to go ahead and fill up the back part of my defense. I'm going to go with an underrated safety. I'm going to go with Jesse Bates.
ooh, okay. So Patrick's got his entire defensive backfield set up, ready to go.
Yep.
Patrick, I was hoping you would, when you said that, I got a little bit nervous. Now, this is part of the reason why I picked 3 defensive ends and only 2 linebackers, is because this next guy that I'm going to pick, now, while he is unproven because of the team he's on, largely, I'm going to do some interesting things with him. I'm not as concerned about the fact that I don't have 3 official linebackers. I'm taking Arizona Cardinals Isaiah Simmons.
You can play him anywhere you want to.
Right. I'm going to make him a little bit more of a rover, which I realize isn't as big of a thing in the NFL, but I'm going to make it work. Essentially let him do what he did in college. He's going to play a little bit everywhere. So I'm not as concerned about not having a linebacker, an extra linebacker there. So I've got Isaiah Simmons, another young guy to go with there. So who you got next?
This one, I'm taking no time. I considered him a couple picks ago, and I was hoping I could wait a little bit. I am solidifying and completing my offensive line with this selection. My right guard out of Washington, Brandon Sheriff.
Ooh, the Sheriff.
Now I got Trent Williams, Ryan Ramchick as the tackles, Quentin Nelson and Brandon Sheriff are the guards, and then Frank Ragnall as my center.
That's a pretty good offensive line, if I do say so. Now, Patrick, I've got a couple more spots that I need to fill. Obviously, 4 more position players, and then the punter and the kicker. We're not going to go into long snappers because that would just be a little bit crazy. I'll tell you what I'm going to do here at corner. I've already got one with Trey White. On the other side, I'm going to put Xavier Howard. And I'm going to try and get some interceptions from you.
Well, with him, you're going to get plenty.
Take it back to the house a couple of times. So that is my plan.
With him, you are going to get more than your fair share.
All right, who you taking next?
I want to go linebacker here. And I'm pretty sure I know what I want to do. Yeah. We're going to play him as an outside linebacker. And again, you know what's funny? Out of this exercise, I have been way more homer than you have, I feel like, after this pick, because I'm going to put him on the outside. I'm picking Darius Leonard.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were. I threw around the idea of picking him, and it's funny that you mentioned homers, Patrick, because I've been wavering on what I was going to do next. Whether I was going to take a different guy who plays a more traditional safety position or just really get crazy with my defense. I'm going to get really crazy with my defense. And instead of taking Minkah Fitzpatrick, I'm going to go homer and I'm going to take Jamal Adams.
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think it's necessarily crazy, but when you start looking at this defense, you're going to start going, wait, who's where? Who's playing what position? When your poor little sweet Justin Herbert quarterback tries to point out which safety he thinks playing deep and which one's doing what, either one of them could actually be playing linebacker. So I'm going to put like all 11 guys in the box. and then play pass defense, and you're not going to know what to do. Little Justin Herbert's going to be running around scared because, oh, look at my defensive line.
Well, that's one approach. You know what I still need? And I'm going to go ahead and take it here.
You need another wide receiver.
I need another wide receiver, and I still have a ton of options. So I considered him a long time ago my wide receiver 2. I'm going to take him here because of just speed on speed on speed on speed on speed. I'm going to take Tyreek Hill.
Ooh. Okay. I don't disagree. That's probably a very, very good idea at this point. Because if you do look at my defense, and this is smart on your part, if you look at my defense, the one area that it might lack is speed on the back end. We're a little bit more of a physical team than a back end speed team, and you just put some real good speed on your team. Now, let's see. I can either go running back, tight end, or kicker here. So what do I do?
You're not going to go running back.
You're right. I'm not going to go running back. And I'm actually, I'm going to pick a guy who I don't necessarily, I hate the team he's on, and it makes me want to hate him. But I actually love him as a player. I'm taking George Kittle.
I mean, I love me some George Kittle.
I hate the fact that he plays for the 49ers, and that makes me want to, just absolutely, whatever. Despise him, but something about George Kittle I like. All right, Patrick, you've got, let's see. I must have forgot to mark something off of yours. I did. You have all 3 linebackers now, right?
I got 3 linebackers.
Okay. So you need a defensive tackle, a defensive end, a kicker, and a punter.
Yep. I'm going to go with my other defensive end here.
Okay.
So we've got quite a few that have been taken, and I want to continue the theme of being a little bit younger than what I've got. The problem is, you know what? He's not high on everyone's radar in terms of, similar exercises, but I've got 2 guys who I can put on the edge, and they can dominate for a long time. So this is probably a guy you would have not considered. I've got Chase Young on one side, the other side I'm going to put Brian Burns.
Ooh. Okay.
And I'm very happy with that.
Let me actually put it in the right spot. Okay, Patrick. I think it's pretty obvious what I'm going to do here. I'm going to round out my offense. This is not a guy we're going to use that often because, look at my wide receiver core. Look at who my quarterback is. Who my tight end is, Patrick. So this might shock you a little bit. But I'm going to take Seattle Seahawk Michael Dixon, punter. Because while we may not use him ever, I would like to have a good one when we do.
That's very fair.
Did you ever think I was going to take a running back there?
No, not at all. I just thought you were going to take a kicker. I didn't know you were going to take the punter.
Well.
So that's the only thing that threw me was that you were going to go ahead and get your punter. All right. What do I need left? I've got one position on defense and then my punter and my kicker. I'm going to go a different approach with my defense. It's going to be a little unorthodox.
All right, can you really say it's going to be a little more unorthodox after I went the way I went?
Maybe.
Okay, what you going to do?
Because I'm going to draft another safety.
Oh. Are you essentially going like double nickel?
Yeah. I'm gonna get Minka.
I shouldn't have said anything about him being available.
Whenever you passed on him like 1 or 2 picks ago, I was like, wait a minute. That could be a fun way to go.
I actually don't hate that idea at all. Okay, so you still need a DN? No.
No, I just need my punter and my kicker.
Okay, I didn't mark something. Okay, so let's see. What am I going to do here? Oh, Patric.
What kicker are you going to get?
Hang on, who'd you just pick? Minka?
I got Minka.
I actually write you down. I like that you assume I'm going to go kicker here.
Yes. Because I've already got my running back.
Correct. So what I was going to tell you earlier.
You can get your top out of the 2 kickers we're going to select. So why waste it on a running back whenever you can get the exact same one later?
Right. This is kind of why I was unsure why you picked Davante Adams, and I almost said something about it when you picked Davante Adams. I was like, you realize it doesn't matter. Like, I've already picked my 3 wide receivers, so you can just wait until the very end to pick wide receivers and fill out other positions. But that's okay. I didn't do it. So, Patrick, I'm going to go it's not Homer because it's your team. I'm taking Rodrigo Blankenship.
Rodrigo!
A nice young kicker. Again, another fun one who will get me lots of social media followers because, Patrick, I'm in the business of winning games and also making money.
Hope you like Legos.
I do. I love Legos.
Because he loves Legos.
How dare you assume I don't love Legos?
I mean, what's wrong with Legos?
Stepping on them.
That's the only thing wrong with them.
All right, Patrick,
All right.
you going punter or kicker first?
I'm going to go ahead and get my kicker because punters don't score points. So.
They do when it leads to a safety because I've pinned you at the 1-yard line, and then Aaron Donald and Nick Bosa and Myles Garrett come blasting through the offensive line and get a safety.
The problem is they have to go against one of the top offensive lines ever created in football history.
Yeah, the top one's on my side. Not true, but I like my pieces.
So I'm going to choose probably the best kicker out of this last decade. Because why not? I'm going to go Justin Tucker.
Yeah. I threw that around, but he is getting up there in age. So I decided to kind of wait on that. So now, Patrick, of course, we're at the part of the show where I finally have to pick a running back. And no, this wasn't me actually being running backs don't matter as much as this is just the way the cookie crumbled. So what am I going to do here? I'm looking at my offense, Patrick. And so this is partly what's going to go into this. As I look at my offense and I start thinking, what do I actually need in a running back? I don't need Derrick Henry.
No. We're
not built to run that way. So you might think, okay, Derrick Henry would be a good pick. I might get Alvin Kamara, but Alvin Kamara's got a lot of miles on him at this point. And while he would be a good fit for my offense, I'm not going to take him either. Patrick, I'm actually not going to take a lot of guys that are on the list that most people would think to take here. Because to fill out my team, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a team that I don't think we've picked anybody from yet, and that's Washington. I'm going to the Washington football team, Patrick, and I'm taking Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
Because I think we haven't spent a lot of time talking about these picks, obviously, because, we're just making a ton of picks. But, man, I think this one really fits my team. It's a good young running back who I think if he had a quarterback similar to Patrick Mahomes and was running an offense that really showcased how good of a pass catcher he was, man, everybody would put him up as high as they put your Alvin Kamara's, your Saquon Barkley's, those guys. So I'm taking Antonio Gibson as my last pick to fill out this offense. Patrick, who is your punter? I know you've been waiting all day for me to say that.
This is a tough one. I'm going to go... I think I know exactly who I want to go with. The one, the only, Mr. J.K. Scott.
Ooh, okay. I like that move. All right, and that is Patrick's last pick, which rounds out his 24-man roster, as we're going to call it. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, good. Just had to check and make sure. So, Patrick, let's go over these real quick. I'm going to go your team first, and then we'll go to mine. So, obviously, in order of how they were picked. At guard, you've got Quentin Nelson, QB Justin Herbert, Jalen Ramsey at your one corner, T.J. Watt at the linebacker position, Devontae Adams, one of your wide receivers, Chase Young on DN, Trent Williams at tackle, Stephon Diggs, wide receiver, Fred Warner at linebacker, Ryan Ramczyk at the other tackle position, Travis Kelce's your tight end, Jair Alexander at the other corner, Christian McCaffrey, your running back, DeForest Buckner at defensive tackle, Budda Baker playing center field on that defense, Frank Ragnow at center, Jesse Bates is your other safety, Brandon Scherf at guard, Darius Leonard, great pick as a linebacker for you. Then Tyreek Hill at wide receiver, Brian Burns at DN, Minka Fitzpatrick as your third safety, Justin Tucker at kicker, and J.K. Scott as your punter. Now, let's go over to the better team and do that. Make sure, remember, vote on who your favorite is. We'll keep track of these. We'll do something weird, something on defense. We'll figure out how to keep track of those scores real well. We'll do that to actually see who is the best team. But vote for sure on the social medias. My team, my version of the Seattle Seahawks, Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, DK Metcalf wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, and A.J. Brown, my other two wide receivers, Joey and Nick Bosa on the D-ends, Aaron Donald at defensive tackle, Trey White at corner, Bobby Wagner, my big main linebacker and team captain, Joel Bitonio at guard, Jack Conklin at tackle, Ali Marpet also at tackle, Corey Lindsley is my center, Wyatt Teller at the other guard spot, Chris Jones at defensive tackle, Myles Garrett as my roving defensive lineman. You never know where he's going to come from. Miles Jack is my other linebacker. Then on the back end, I've got Isaiah Simmons, Xavier Howard as a corner, Jamal Adams at safety, George Kittle at tight end, Michael Big Dixon Energy at punter, Rodrigo Blankenship is my kicker, and Antonio Gibson rounds out my roster at the running back spot. So, Patrick, who do you think has a better team?
Me. Me.
Bold of you to assume that. But we'll see what the fans think. We'll see what the listeners think. So, again, make sure you go on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those good things you heard back at the beginning of the show. Vote for each one of these. Patrick may have won basketball. I may have won basketball. Patrick may have won football. I may have won football. Baseball. Could be Patrick. Could be me. It doesn't have to be the same one across the board, or it could be the same one across the board if you just think I'm that much better than Patrick. But we will let you guys decide before season start, and then we will update you as these things, as the NFL season starts. We'll redo next season's basketball. And we'll do baseball at the end of the season. We'll keep track and see who ended up with the better lineup. Patrick, that is our 100th episode. That is going to do it. Once again, 100 times, we thank you. We appreciate you guys listening, downloading, liking, rating, reviewing, subscribing, all those good things. Patrick, do you have anything else to say to the folks?
Let's do 100 more.
I like this idea. We have gone through a lot of changes since we did our first one. Both of us have gotten big boy jobs.